When we look at the skyline of ancient Egypt, the shapes are so familiar that we rarely stop to ask a basic question: why build a tomb exactly like this? Across the world, Mesoamerican structures built by the Maya or Aztecs prove that a pyramid does not naturally have to come to a sharp point. Those structures were designed with flat tops to serve as elevated, practical stages for public rituals and sacrifices. Curiously, Egyptian pyramids, on the other hand, end in a severe, sharp point. You can't stand on it, and it offers no practical staging area. We see this exact geometry repeated at the peak of every towering Egyptian obelisk. This specific geometry suggests an intentional reference. Thousands of years of architecture were scaled to mimic a single, highly sacred and completely lost artifact, the Benben stone. To understand the Benben, we have to go back to what the Egyptians called the first time. In their creation myth, before the universe existed, there was only a dark, endless, and chaotic ocean of water known as Nun. Creation began when a single mound of solid earth finally broke the surface of those dark waters. According to the myth, the creator god Atum stood upon this very mound to begin forming the universe. They called this first piece of land the Benben. Egyptian tradition also tells of the Bennu bird, an ancient precursor to the phoenix, landing on the Benben to cry out, marking the first sunrise and the start of time itself. To the ancient Egyptian mind, the Benben was the physical embodiment of order conquering chaos, the literal origin point where life began. This myth was anchored to reality in the ancient city of Heliopolis. Inside a temple known as the Mansion of the Phoenix, priests kept a physical, pointed stone that represented that primeval mound. It sat deep within the sanctuary as the absolute center of solar worship, specifically placed to catch the very first rays of the morning sun. Today, some scholars speculate that this original stone might have been a conical iron meteorite. We know the ancient Egyptians highly prized iron from the sky for their sacred objects. Whether it was a fallen space rock or a hand-carved monument, this singular cult object defined the architectural requirements for securing eternal life. The pharaohs utilized this mythology by building massive architectural copies of the Benben, linking their own afterlife to the daily rebirth of the sun. They crowned the tops of pyramids and obelisks with specialized capstones known as pyramidia or benbenets. This surviving pyramidion shows a carved winged sun disk, proving these capstones were heavily tied to solar worship. These capstones were covered in highly reflective gold or electrum. As the sun breached the horizon, the golden cake shone brilliantly while the rest of the structure sat in shadow. When that first dawn light hit, it visually recreated the exact moment of creation. The monumental architecture of Egypt functioned as a cosmic machine, built to trigger the rebirth of the universe and the pharaoh every single morning. Despite inspiring millions of tons of stone architecture, the original Benben stone has completely vanished. No living person has ever seen it, and archaeologists have yet to find a single trace of the original Heliopolis relic. The physical rock is outlived by its conceptual weight. Egyptian scholar Dr. Hassam Badrawi describes the Benben as first awareness, the emergence of a singular, defining thought from a chaotic background. We often focus on the tons of stone that survived the centuries, while overlooking the invisible concept that actually dictated their creation. The original stone vanished, but its geometry remains etched into the skyline. A single lost object dictated the form of an entire civilization for 3,000 years.